Okay. Well, the reason I called y'all here today is we've had a breakthrough in some major investigations we've been working on. One of them is more sensitive than many others, and that would be the church burglaries that have been going on throughout Columbus over the past 4 months. Starting back around February, we had a rash of various church burglaries that have gone through our community. They would go in and either vandalize the churches and usually steal items from these churches. During the course of our investigations, Detective Tom Shelton and Detective Daryl Middlebrooks investigated the case, and we were able to obtain video from the Evangel Temple burglary that just recently occurred. Upon viewing the video, we actually recognized one of the suspects, which y'all should have the name of, which is Preston Kennedy, white male. We have had many dealings with him and a familiarity with him in regards to other crimes that we recently prosecuted him on. So based upon the identification there, plus multiple call-ins after y'all assisted us in putting it on the air and also on Facebook, we were able to get a positive identification of him, apprehend him on Tuesday. He was apprehended upon being interviewed by our detectives in the burglary and theft unit. He did confess to a total of 12 different burglaries. I believe 11 of them were church burglaries. He was working with various accomplices. 2 of them are juveniles that we're not giving names out on right now that we're still looking to apprehend. He was also involved with an accomplice named Reginald Weeks Lewis, which I just gave y'all a mugshot for, and we're obtaining warrants for now for the church burglaries as well. Basically, Mr. Lewis and Mr. Kennedy also got apprehended in Phoenix City as well Tuesday morning early, doing church burglaries as well. And one of them was a juvenile. Well, they're both considered juveniles in Alabama, so they were released at that time. Were brought over here where we apprehended him, and the juvenile apparently fled before we were even involved in identification of him. So he's still at large. But once again, you know, once we apprehend him, we'll let you know what's going on with that. There was also several vehicles that were stolen during the time of the church burglaries, and one of the vehicles was recovered. It was for Glen Anthony Baptist Church. They'd actually used that vehicle to do some church burglaries over in Phoenix City Tuesday morning, Monday night, Tuesday morning time frame. There were 3 other vehicles stolen from American Van Lines, which we also cleared up, and we were able to link up other evidence to several other church burglaries and 1 other business burglary as well. A total of 12 cleared cases that Kennedy and all of them are being completely prosecuted on to the fullest. Another thing I'd like to bring out and bring forth to y'all is a successful warrant execution on a criminal felony gang act case, and we have made many of these. But this is something that the burglary and theft unit in particular is looking to spearhead to confront and take on gang members in the community. One of the people that was recently arrested that we built a case on was Jakeith Robinson. He was just arrested, went to court this morning on Recorder's Court, and we have evidence that links him to a gang in South Columbus in the Benning Drive, Casita Road, Benning Drive, Victory Drive area that they go by the Winston gang. And the evidence that was linked up by Detective Molly Davis in that case also links many burglaries. It links robberies to the group. It links stolen vehicles, all types of various crimes, and also guns and stuff and drugs that are being connected to the group as well. We're also looking to go further with the prosecution, not just on the state level. We want to take this to the federal level, and we are in the process of making that happen with the DA's office now through the RICO Act. And that will, hopefully send a clear message to anybody who either wants to be in a gang or is in a gang that there's going to be consequences for this, and we are not going to stop until we get them all. And that's basically all I have. One person that we're looking for that we currently have a criminal felony gang act warrant on is Antoine Barnes, and I gave y'all a mugshot of him as well. And Detective Molly Davis is spearheading that case.
Is there any indication of why they were targeting churches at this point, or is that still to be investigated?
They knew that there were flat screens and stuff like that to be taken. I can't say for sure though.
Is that what they were taking? The kind of stuff they were getting?
The kind of stuff they were getting were usually flat screens, DVD players, sometimes guitars, you know. Sometimes it was really odd stuff that made no sense. Sometimes it was nothing at all. And then there would be a vandalism that would follow. So, to include, you know, fire extinguisher use and stuff like that, just vandalizing the church. They would go for keys to vans and then take the vans. One in particular was on, I think, Hamilton Road, which was one of the churches. Detective Tom Shelton has spearheaded most of those. He's done an outstanding job.